what's up, and welcome to another video. My name is Amanda and welcome to Amanda's Kitchen. In today's video, I wanted to share 3 breakfast recipes with you guys because sometimes I know that I kind of struggle with thinking of something new to make for breakfast because I really get tired of having the same thing over and over, and a lot of the time when I have breakfast, I'm at work, so I don't really need to or have time to prepare something. So these are some things that I really like to make for breakfast when I am home for the morning. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. We're gonna do some baked oats, a chocolate protein smoothie, and avocado on toast because let's face it, it's bomb. And these are all plant-based recipes, so that's really fun too. And you could substitute pretty much any ingredients for something that you like, but these are just some suggestions for you. So if that sounds like something interesting, tag along, let's get started. Right, and good morning. So this first breakfast recipe, we are gonna be making a chocolate protein smoothie situation, which is more like a chocolate shake, to be honest. I really like the flavor of this chocolate protein, and it is vegan, so we have a vegan breakfast option, which is amazing. And we're going to be using frozen banana, almond butter, and soy milk for this smoothie. I honestly prefer oat milk, but I'm out of oat milk, so I'm going to use soy. So pretty much we're just going to put everything in the blender and enjoy. So let's do it. So the first thing we're gonna do, I don't have a Vitamix or anything, I just have this little BlendJet blender. I'm saving up for Vitamix, so I can't wait for that. But this is nice because it's just like a single serving type situation. So I usually start with about 8 ounces of non-dairy milk. My preferred is oat, but I only have soy today. And then also about 1 tablespoon of almond butter or any nut butter that you like. I've actually also made this with peanut butter and it was still good. So there's not really like a right or wrong amount in this situation. And then after we add our nut butter, I like to put my protein powder in next just because I find it sticks to the top if I wait until the last step for this. And I just use 1 scoop of this chocolate protein powder. I've also made this with the vanilla powder and it's okay, but honestly the decadence of the chocolate is quite tasty as a nice breakfast. And then I have some frozen bananas, which I've had for a little bit too long, so they've kind of started to turn brown, but they're getting blended, so no one's gonna know. No one will know. So I think I do about between like a half and a whole banana. It just depends on how small the pieces are. And that is pretty much it. We just pop the lid on and blend it up. And I sometimes have to shake this guy, or I might need to add more milk, but here we are. And then after it is done blending, we simply enjoy. Now, I usually like to blend mine a few times, but this always happens with this blender. I forget to charge it and the battery dies, so I only got to blend it once, so it's a little bit thinner than I prefer, but it'll still be delicious. Good morning, and for this next breakfast recipe, we're going to be making baked oats. And I made baked oatmeal before where like the oats are still in oat form, but this recipe, I've kind of been seeing different variations of this pop up on social media and YouTube and stuff like that, but it's where like the oats get blended, so it's kind of like an oat flour situation, and then it's just almost like a cake. So that sounds like a great breakfast for me. I woke up feeling a little under the weather, so I feel like something warm and hearty is going to be great. And I'm going to add some frozen blueberries into mine just for some little extra sweetness. And I will post the measurements below, but let's get to making this. All right, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is put my oats into the food processor to get them nice and blended up into like a flour consistency. So I have 2 cups of rolled oats. And there's still some chunks, but that's okay because it's gonna get processed again. And then I have 1 cup of non-dairy milk. I'm using soy milk because that is what I have on hand today. And then 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of ground flax, 1.5 tablespoons of maple syrup, and then lastly, a tablespoon or so of almond butter. And mine is kind of really sticky right now, so it might be a little bit more, but that's okay. And then once all our ingredients are in the food processor, we're just going to blend that up until it turns into kind of like a dough situation here. Well, it really didn't take that long, which is great because I'm ready for breakfast. You know, a little bit of my baking powder kind of stuck on the side, but I think it'll be okay. All right. So now that our mixture is nice and blended, we're going to stir in the blueberries and put it into a bowl and bake it up. So now all we have to do is combine everything in a bowl and bake it at 375 for about 20 to 25 minutes. And I will link the recipe below that I was inspired by for this. I did use the base recipe. I'm just adding my own fruit. So I did not come up with this recipe, but I'm excited to try it because it looked really good when she made it. So I did grease my oven safe bowl just in case, and I'm adding in my oat mixture here. Smells pretty good. And then about a cup of frozen easier for me to say, blueberries, which I'm just going to kind of gently press into the batter. I don't want it to turn blue everywhere, so I'm just gonna get them underneath there. So that looks really good. And then I also thought it would be nice to add a few pecans on top. So I'm gonna do just a couple little sprinkling of pecans, and I feel like this is way too much for just one breakfast for me, so I might even have leftovers, which is great. But we are going to bake this in a preheated oven at 375 for about 20 to 25 minutes, and then I'll show you when it's done. And there she is, fresh out of the oven. This smells really good. I'm very excited to dig into this. I think I'm gonna top it probably with just a little bit of maple syrup or brown sugar. I don't know, I should probably taste it first, but it looks so good, and you could really customize this recipe any way that you want. So there we have it. Nice, wholesome, cozy breakfast for our second recipe. Yeah. Next up on our roster of breakfasts, which arguably could be considered lunch or even a snack, is avocado on toast. And my favorite way to make avocado on toast is to toast my bread, add a little bit of butter, mash my avocado, mix in some garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper, maybe some red onion or sun-dried tomatoes, and then top everything off with everything but the bagel seasoning, which if you've seen some of my snack videos, you know that I love this stuff. I actually made my own. But yeah, so we're gonna make some avocado on toast. I got my bread toasting up in the air fryer, and let's get to assembling. All right, so for my avocado on toast, like I said, I like to keep it pretty simple and just add like garlic powder, onion powder, and pepper and salt. Like that's my go-to combination. But honestly, like you could do whatever kind of seasonings that you like for your avocado on toast. I'd be really interested to hearing what your favorite like topping combination is, because as much as I love my go-to avocado on toast situation here, I definitely am open to trying new flavor profile combination situations out. Like I said, I have done, like I've mixed in red onions before. That's really good. Sun-dried tomatoes was also super bomb. But I want to know, what do you guys put in your toast? So now that I have my avocado out of its shell or whatever, I like to give it a little bit of a mash. I don't know about you, but I prefer to mash my avocado first and like stir in my seasonings instead of smashing it right on the toast, because like, I don't know, believe it or not, I actually used to like not even like avocado. Like I don't really like chunks of avocado, and it definitely has to be seasoned in order for me to like eat it, but I can do it like in a salad. So I just add a sprinkling of garlic powder, and I don't really measure it. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling at the moment. Onion powder, just a little bit of a sprinkling. Depends on how big the avocado is. I have baby avocados right now, so I don't need as much. A little bit of salt, because I like to add the salt on the top usually, in case some of the everything but the bagel seasonings that I bought have been really salty, so sometimes I leave out the salt. But I actually made my own everything but the bagel seasoning with black sesame seeds, white sesame seeds, poppy seeds, and then dehydrated garlic and dehydrated onion. So I didn't even put salt in it, so then I could control the salt level when I actually make it. And sometimes I add sriracha or hot sauce if I'm feeling spicy, but there we go, just a little mixy mix there. Dun, 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 dun. And then there we go. Once our bread is nice and toasted, we could assemble. I prefer like a grain bread, or like a bread that has like a lot of seeds and stuff in it. I usually have a much thicker bread, but my grocery store was out of the bread I normally bought, and this one was on clearance, and it still had a lot of nutritious nuts and seeds and whatever. Now, I like my toast really toasty. Let me know how you guys like your bread. If you like it toasty or like still bready, but I like nice and toasty toast. So we got our little bit of vegan butter on there, and then I'm just gonna top each toasty here with half of the avocado. And I have to use a new plate because, you know what, I don't like eating on a messy plate. Sometimes I will just mash it right on the plate and scoop it off, but I wanted it to look nice for you guys. So I'll just literally add my lightly seasoned smashed avocado mixture as evenly as I can onto my toast, and then top with the everything but the bagel seasoning here, which is probably my favorite part. And then I'll add just a tiny bit of salt, because I don't really have a lot of salt in my mixture here. So there we go. This is one of my favorite breakfasts. I even do this as a lunch sometime. Top it with some roasted chickpeas. That is super fire. Or really any other veggies or protein that you like to turn it into a satisfying meal. That is a a wrap on today's video. I hope you found some inspiration in these breakfast ideas. I would be really interested to know if you guys made any substitutions or like added any special toppings to your avocado on toast, or what kind of flavor changes you made to the smoothie and the baked oats. Or even if you have your favorite go-to breakfast recipe, I would love to hear from you. We can inspire each other to try new recipes and new things. So if you liked this video and want to see more like it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you found it helpful. I would love your feedback in the comments. And yeah, so I think that's going to be it for today. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye.